Suppose way back in history, if you had a referee before every war and a guy called a toss. Let's go to the Revolutionary War. Okay. Captain Harbor to the British, this Captain Sober to the settlers. Captain Sober to the settlers, Captain Harbor to the British. Call a toss there, British. British call heads, it's tails. You lose the toss, British settlers win. What we do, settlers? All right, the settlers say that during the war, they will wear any color clothes that they want to, shoot from behind the rocks, the trees, and everywhere. Says your team must wear red and march in a straight line.
Now I was winged on cucumber and on my wedding day, when the fun was over and the guests had gone away, my old darling said to me, you must be hungry, Joe.
All right, episode number 5 of Comedy on Vinyl. This is Jason Klamm. With me, as always, is Mike Worden.
Hello.
So, this week we're doing Bill Cosby is a Very Funny Fellow, Right, which is his first album ever. So, Mike knows more about this, so he's probably going to have more to say about it than I do. I mean, this is famous, I think, mostly for the Noah sketches. Those are the ones, at least, I say that because they're the only ones I know before today, having heard it this time. But yeah, the Noah sketches are great, and I mean, there's a lot of, it's not character work like it was last week. You know, I got to cover all that Richard Pryor, like, character stuff, but, like, storytelling, kind of, quote-unquote, folksy, and, yeah, I don't know. What is this? Is this first one you listened to?
Yeah, this is the first one I listened to. It's the one I listened to the most of all of them. Mm-hmm. And it's the one that me and my little brother, we quoted more than any other one. Awesome. This is the one we did. Every time we were playing football outside, out front, it was the coin toss bit. It was, Captain Simbo over here, and that's how I learned history.
That's awesome.
Is this how it happened? Yeah, and so re-listening to it recently, I hadn't listened to it in years. There was a lot that I picked up on that I remembered why I thought it was funny. Like, why it really meant so much to me back then. And this was the one upstairs. And it's funny because I listened to this a lot more than I listened to the prior stuff that I had.
Yeah.
But this one seemed to resonate. I don't know why. A little kid, you want to swear.
Sure.
I love Richard Pryor. He's amazing. But I think it's Bill Cosby's sensibility of... He makes you feel like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. He makes you feel like you're comfortable. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's different. Some comedians that I love, they push you to the edge of making you feel in a darker place.
Right.
That's why you like it.
Sure.
Bill Cosby's not that.
No, not at all.
He's your uncle telling you funny stories.
It's true. It's true.
Some of the bits aren't even, I mean, if you said them and read them, they're not that funny.
No.
It's the way he does it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the voices, and obviously they're really polished, and like you were pointing out earlier, sound effects and stuff. Like, he obviously, like, had this shit polished, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing that he had the sound effects. Like, if you couldn't, we were talking about before we came on, is that if you, a comedian today, unless you're in a big venue, you can't do a sound effect. You can't have... Okay, I need you, the guy in the back, the sound booth guy, to press rain at this specific
right.
Okay.
You'd have to depend on somebody who just, like, had never seen your shit before to like, get it just right.
Yeah.
And, yeah, wow. Yeah, how did he... I mean, I'm assuming he obviously polished this in stand-up clubs and shit, but I just wonder, like, where did that come from?
He was doing a lot of stand-up in New York, and he was doing it a lot of times with Woody Allen. They were both... doing shows together.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was really weird, right?
See, I would have killed to see that.
I know. There was an article in New York Times. I was recently reading up on some Woody Allen stuff, and there was an article about how they had like a 3-week engagement together.
That's insane.
With Cosby and Woody Allen. Yeah, and that's where he was doing it all. And it was very conversational, very much he's conversational, but yet it's not like it's stream of consciousness.
Sure.
Everything is completely scripted out.
Right.
And it has to be, because the way he jumps to complete dead stops to get the joke. He builds and builds and builds and builds and builds and then switches it to get the joke. And that's really funny. And that's not conversational. It's all scripted. But
yeah.
I just love the one of my favorites is the coin toss. And the reason I love this is because I love when he delves into what if we did this with wars?
Right.
And so you're thinking, the first time I'm thinking, okay, what if we did this with wars? All right, let's pick sides, let's flip a coin. But he actually does it as if they already did do the coin toss, and these are the results that happen.
Right.
There's nothing new, but he doesn't change the result. It's not like he has the British win.
Right.
It's the opposite. He's like, no, this is what the coin toss was like exactly before the American Revolutionary War.
I know, and he just he's I don't know. He's pretty clearly. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say there's like the punchline seems really important to him. It was pretty strict like joke format, but a couple of things he did not really have like a real hard punchline. It was just like getting there. That was just like fun.
Yeah.
You know, just telling a story. This one doesn't need to work as well as the other ones do. Like, I mean, the Noah thing. I mean, he just does the same joke over and over again. At least in the first one.
Yeah.
Like, the right thing, but it works every time. Yeah. Like it's mostly straight lines. Straight lines, like God's lines, are all just straight man lines. You know,
he kept building. You talk about the Noah one. That's probably one of his most famous bits.
Mm-hmm.
It got me into really bad trouble when I was little because I listened to it a lot, and it actually I started doing the bit at a vacation Bible school thing, and I kept and the teachers were trying to explain to us Noah. That was the theme that year at the vacation Bible school was Noah. So every time she would say something, I'd go right in the back. Yeah. So I went for 3 days out of the week, and I wasn't allowed to come back anymore. And it's funny you said that Bill Cosby got me kicked out. Talk about a clean comedian who gets you kicked out of. Yeah.
You see, Noah was in his rec room sawing away. He's making a few things for the home there. He's a good carpenter. Ruba, 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 Ruba. Noah. Somebody call? Ruba, Ruba, Ruba. Noah. Who is that? It's the Lord, Noah. Right.
I just loved that. It was just, it's wonderful. It also made me question a lot when I was younger, and it was the first thing that made me question it. It's like, yeah, it is kind of weird. It points out the absurdity of some of that story.
Yeah.
Without really hammering it. He's very subtle with it, and that's the way that he could be political and not bash people over the heads and not offend people, but still, it was
you would have thought there would be more uproar over it, and it's a black guy doing stuff about how silly parts of the Bible are. You would think at the time some shit would have gone down, but he's so likable, and he was, to the white people, he was an inoffensive black man.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Oh, he's nice. That's fine. And I don't know. He must have. It just seems like he got away with. He didn't get away with a lot, but he got away with something.
Yeah. His persona is very, it falls right within his political, I'm not trying to paint Bill Cosby into a political corner or whatever he is, but what I get from his political leanings is that he's very family oriented, and he believes in striving, education, working hard, and becoming a model citizen. So for him to not use vulgarities, for him to not do that, he's not trying to appeal to the kids. He's not saying, hey kids, listen to this. But he's saying, if the family's listening to this, no one's going to be offended. You're not going to, this isn't something you have to hide from your kids, but if your kids, they're not going to really love it.
Sure.
But it really fell into it, and that's where his TV shows ended up going.
It's true. The only time I ever heard him swear is that famous bit where he talks about cocaine.
Yeah, and he needed it.
Yeah,
he earned it, and it was there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and there wasn't a gasp in the house. It was a genuine relief laugh.
And isn't it funny to you that the two most successful comedians to arguably, I would say even unarguably, to go on to the two single most successful sitcoms of all time never swore.
Exactly.
Bill Cosby and Seinfeld never swear, and
so true.
And they're the most successful, and they both shows where I couldn't say Cosby Show was cutting edge, but in a way it was a black family, and not showing black family like good times. It was a successful black family that was functional.
Yep.
It wasn't a dysfunctional family. The comedy arose from everyday life.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just It's awesome.
Yeah, it was a humanizing show at a time when it somehow hadn't existed yet, really. You know,
And how it hadn't
even though the other
existed.
shows were like based off of Norman Lear projects too. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Which is kind of weird to me. Like they still kind of they relied. Okay, fine, maybe some of it was real, but they relied heavily on stereotypes. And there's just like Bill Cosby wasn't going out of the way necessarily to break stereotypes, but be like, hey, here's some real people that happen to be black. And I don't know. I mean, that was my favorite show growing up.
Me
It
too,
was in
by
the
far.
80s, you
Me
know?
too.
Like,
It was.
It's the best thing in the world.
You don't have a show like that anymore where the families can sit down where 20-somethings watch it on their own.
Right.
Yeah, a family of 4 watches it. If you get a family sitcom nowadays, it's too shticky.
Yep.
It's too... I mean, everybody loves Raymond kind of crossed some barriers, not
Yeah.
completely, but there was something there.
Well, it's
But-
either got to be too ironic, or they've got to be really like just mean or snarky. And
Exactly.
It's just like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's just cool it. Like,
Yeah,
maybe I'm getting old, Mike.
You
maybe,
know,
but, like it hasn't happened since Cosby that I've seen anything like family oriented that wasn't treacle. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't just like disgusting to watch because his show was always good.
Yeah, and this album was like the number 2 album of that year, number 2 or 3 of that year, which
Really?
was amazing. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
And it's produced, I think, by Alan Sherman.
yeah. It is,
He writes
and he
the
wrote
notes
the
in the
back,
back, yeah.
the back notes and stuff too. Yeah, he's like, I wish I could sit there and watch your face when you discover them. I wish he could have when I was a little kid,
Right.
sitting in my parents' attic. That's where I keep talking about my parents' attic. They had a monster record collection that they threw up there and never touched because they didn't use the record player anymore. They had a
weird.
tape player downstairs, and they never used the record player. So the record player sat upstairs, and we'd plug it in and get like 130 degrees in that attic in the summer, and we just listened to them over and over and over.
That's so good.
And I just loved it. I just couldn't get enough of this. And this was, I mean, to say who influences who, I don't say Bill Cosby influences me because I don't do my type of comedy that I do completely has nothing, it's completely opposite of what Bill
Right.
Cosby does. But he's the first person who had a major impact on my life about wanting to be funny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always big.
Yeah.
You know, I can't think back other than my mom. My mom always wanted to be really funny, but I can't think of who made me want to be funny. It's just like, oh, I should try this. You know, so I was writing down jokes in a notebook when I was like 8, and I'm like, I read it to my mom. She's like, oh, it's really funny. I'm like, yes, this works.
That's awesome.
Like, you know, and then I don't know. And then at some point I was just like, okay, I need to keep studying this shit.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, where was I going to go? I had a point.
I don't know. I was just
Point is lost.
the Superman bit. I hate to jump around, but it'll be all over the map. But the Superman bit to me is one of those bits that it's so simple. It's one of the bits where he didn't. It's like, okay, Superman goes into a new phone booth, and the cop knocks on the phone booth, and it's like, oh, you can't do that, and it's like, it's so simple. If you tell that story, it's not really very funny at all.
Right.
It's not funny in the least bit, but he makes it humorous. He's got the crowd rolling during that bit.
I'm changing clothes, officer. You can't change clothes in the phone booth. Come out of there. Who do you think you are, anyway? I'm Superman. Right. Bring a wagon in, Charlie. Come out of that phone booth. Look, I told you I'm Superman. Can't you see this red S on my chest? Right, and I'm going to give you a red S and a black eye if you don't come out of that phone booth.
And he comes the closest to swearing in that one.
Saying a red ass. That's good. That's good. That's really good. Oh, man. It's so weird. Some of my strongest memories are like yours, obviously not in an attic, but like my strongest memories listening to comedy at first were just like so strong. Like they're just these weird little capsules of time. Because the first stuff I listened to was not on vinyl. Because my parents, again, I think the record player was broken by the time I started giving a shit. That's not true. That's not true. But the first comedy I ever listened to was on tape for sure, and it was Cheech and Chong's Greatest Hits.
Oh.
But like Dan and I just would sit in his stepmother's busted out Ford Fiesta, and we had a little portable tape player. We put Cheech and Chong in there. We just listened to it over and over and over again. And then again, that's like, it was a perfect symbol, like this little capsule of just like, holy shit, my own little world is building up, you know? And yeah, this is like...
To think that this still sells, though. It's
I know.
still on iTunes. It sells really well.
That's awesome.
And yeah, exactly. And this was his first, right? Was
Mm-hmm.
this his first?
This is the
Yeah.
first album.
This is the first one I knew of. I mean, there was a few more that I had listened to of his that I was a big fan of, but this was the one that that really got me. It's great listening to the vinyl because it takes you back to a point in your life where, what was I doing at that point? You know, who was I? You know, I was a little kid. You know, it was awesome. It's just a great.
What do you? I mean, for you, what works best about Bill Cosby in general, at least at this point?
To me, it's his inviting nature. I love the fact that he invites you to be really, really comfortable with him. He wants you to understand. Oh, look at how logical this is, you know. And then he makes it humorous. Like I said, he's your uncle who's telling you funny stories and making funny faces, and that's what I really love about it. Yeah. Some of the bits that were my favorite bits when I was younger, karate, the last bit on the record, I listened to it again for the first time in years last night, and it was like, Yeah. It wasn't my favorite anymore. But I went back and listened to some of the football ones, like Tiny Little Hairs, and I was rolling. I didn't get it then because I didn't shave. But he was talking about the football stars and the athletes doing commercials, and at that time, those commercials were horrible. You know? There's Barbasol. Wonderful. And that's what works for me. That's what really did it. I love when he interacts with children. So when he talks in that later albums with his brother, and you know how he was a kid, I just love that interaction because he gets into the mind of children really, really well. And maybe that's why it worked for me as a kid. Why this album worked so much. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and the voices don't have to be that great because he just gives you a real quick idea, and you figured it out. You know exactly what he's talking about somehow, and it's the same like you're talking about when he does a voice of a kid or does something from the perspective of a kid. He seems to have not forgotten what it's like to be a kid, and so that personality is just in there.
His mumbling.
Yeah.
Too, he mumbles a lot. He has his great, and you laugh. It's like, wow, that was funny. I don't know why it was funny. He goes off on that the first bit on this whole thing. What is it? A nut in every car. He talks about the two hobos who are having a conversation, and there's no words being said for a good 30 seconds. There's not even a word being said, and you're rolling, and it's like.
And you know, it reminds me of a bit from the Richard Pryor one last time where he was talking about pimps on cocaine. That whole bit where he's just doing a pimp voice, but he's not saying a damn thing. Like, I guess in that kind of stuff, you can hear the influence a little bit. Even it's just so weird though that, like, you know, Bill Cosby was Richard Pryor's hero, and that Richard Pryor goes on to do what he did. I mean, you have to grow, and Bill Cosby grew too, but it's just so weird that somebody that extreme would grow out of this.
You can see it, though.
Sure.
I mean, you can see a lot of Richard Pryor and Bill Cosby. You can see the storytelling.
Sure.
And, you know, that the way he forms the jokes, and the characters, and characters didn't even have to be different voices, you know, completely. Like the Bob Newhart thing, he doesn't use different voices to get that across. That's not the point of it, right? You know? And it's just, he just took it to a different place. And you can be influenced by someone and then take it to a different level, take it to a different place, and I think that's what he did, yeah.
And, like, listening, again, to the Richard Pryor stuff, he seemed to be able to, or at least want to, pepper his stuff with more jokes. Whereas Bill Cosby, a lot of those didn't have, like you said, didn't have any funny dialogue in them. But, like, they build a really simple punchline sometimes. But again, like, he's either doing a really funny voice, but, like, I would love to have seen the way he wrote this stuff, because, and, like, it must have been built on a lot of either improv or just conversation with other people. Because you wouldn't sit down and write these bits. Yeah. Like the Superman one, maybe. Like the couple simple punchline ones, and you just build it and just drag it out a little bit. But like some of them, where the hell was that guy's mind? You know?
No, it's completely different. It is one of those conversational things. You don't sit down, write it out. I was listening to a lot of Woody Allen lately, and he's saying how his style of writing, it was joke-based. It was set up, punchline. You know, he'd deliver it differently. Love him. His heroes, Bob Hope, who was that style. Yeah. But I'd like to know who influenced Cosby to that point where he started doing Bob Hope stuff in the 50s. He was on Bob Hope's show, doing a couple things, but Yeah, I don't know.
It sounds like the kind of stuff that, like, after a show where he's doing traditional jokes, he's telling stories to somebody, and they're like, why the hell aren't you doing that shit on stage? You know what I mean? Like, they do sound like, or like, here's a really funny concept that I've never quite worked out. Well, why don't you tell it exactly like that? Because that was brilliant. The way you do it is just really good, and he obviously charmed the pants off of people.
He said, hey, where are we going? We're going to get shot. I said, what? I said, we're going to get shot. So what for? It's because we got hoof and mouth. Hoof and mouth? What's that? You see that foam around your mouth? Yeah? That's hoof and mouth. They're going to shoot us? Yep. Any way I can get out of it? Yep. What's that? Wipe that foam from around your mouth.
His movie career wasn't the best.
Right. That is true. I'm trying to think of, other than Ghost Dad, what even pops into my head right now. I can't think of anything.
He was
else.
in some awful movies. I just had my IMDb up, and I can't remember, but he was in some horrible movies. But he had the Cosby Show. After the Cosby Show in the 90s, he had Cosby.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
which had
with Felicia Rashad also. Yeah. Which was a funny show. I mean, I didn't. It's not something I ever sat down to watch, but I was caught it in syndication here.
Right.
It seemed like kind of an extension, but he wasn't a doctor. His wife wasn't an attorney. It was more working class family.
Right.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And he's from Philadelphia, right?
Yep, and he went to Temple. He has an honorary doctoral degree from Temple.
Right.
Also.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, what? All right, I'll just get off on a tangent here, just because he's culturally a bit...
Leonard Part 6, there's another
That's
group.
right, there's the other one. But like culturally, he's here. You know, he'll never go away because the show had such a big impact, and he did what? Like the Kodak and the Jell-O commercials and all.
Yeah.
That'll always at least be in the back of the minds of people our age. But like, it carries through to even like the Boondocks. Have you seen the episodes?
Yeah.
Where he really does not like Bill Cosby. At least, I mean, I know Bill Cosby's a very different guy. He's more outspoken personally now than he was.
Yeah.
You know,
but to think that he even isn't influenced by him, his comedy, I don't know. He has to be. There has to be some influence there, and maybe it's just a person who he's become lately.
I think so. I mean, especially if you grew up and it is an icon of some kind who like breaks ground with a show like the Cosby Show, and then seems to sort of turn around on the quote unquote black community. Maybe that's a little shocking to see. I mean, I understand what Bill Cosby's trying to say. He just wants people to be educated. He just says it in some really offensive ways.
Yeah, and it's funny because he's like, these kids got to work their own way. He went to Temple on an athletic scholarship.
Did he?
Yeah,
That's so
he went
funny.
to Temple on a track scholarship.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and then he didn't just do that. He worked his way through college too. But that's where he came from.
Yeah.
So he wants kids to I don't know, just not get into the gang lifestyle. The thug lifestyle is what he's just.
And that's a good message. It'd just be good if he could do it through comedy again. I know he's too fucking old. He's not going to stand up and he's not going to do stand up anymore. But he's still got to be a funny dude. But maybe you get old and you're just like, I don't care. I'm not making jokes about it anymore.
Yeah, it says that he was reading a nice little clip here that you can find on Mr. Internets too. Mm-hmm. That he was discovered by Carl Reiner.
What?
Yeah, doing stand up. He was bartending. And he would tell funny stories while he was bartending. Everyone told him to start to do comedy in the early 60s,
insane.
62. Started to do comedy, yeah.
That's
and Carl Reiner found him. Yeah, that's amazing.
Holy shit. And then his first album was produced by fucking Alan Sherman. Damn.
Yep.
Now, do you, I mean, not to go into too many other albums, but what was the other one that you had?
Himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yep. And then
I find that the other day.
And then to Leonard, or to my brother. What's his name? What's his brother's name? Is it on here? I don't know.
Russell.
To Russell, yeah, my brother, who I said that one is amazing to me because I had a father who loved my dad. He had to work at 3 a.m. every day.
Ugh.
Okay, so me and my brother were up till 9 or 10, 12 o'clock at night. You know, in our rooms, we shared a room. We'd beating the crap out of each other, jumping on the beds and stuff. And at the time, you don't realize he's got to sleep. And it's like midnight. He's got to get up in 3 hours. So my father, we heard him bang, 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 bang down the hall. I think back then it kind of hit a little too close to home. That's when I love hearing that, because that's exactly, it takes me back to, I was listening to that, and his stories were telling about my life at that time.
Yeah.
You know, it's exactly where I went to school with. He talks about how his father was a drunk. My father was not a drunk who came home. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what his, I should have done my research, but I don't know what his life was like growing up. I don't know if he had that dark area in his life, you know?
Well, and he doesn't, like, there's nothing really personal on this album at all.
No,
either.
nothing.
I mean, you maybe you don't want to. Maybe you got to start out like proving to people I can do some good jokes, make people laugh really loud. But I mean, eventually that's all it becomes.
Yeah.
It's really personal stories, which is like makes him perfect for doing a show like or doing doing stuff like my brain is not working, but yep. That show.
Yeah, that was a great show.
It's a really good show. The Snap 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 show starring Bill fucking Cosby.
Yeah, Different World. Is that what you're saying?
Sure. Yeah. You know,
he did though love his not even his family, but his family that was on the show. I mean, he had this want to make Lisa Bonet and Malcolm Jamal Warner succeed. He was always trying to help them, you know, keep going.
Right.
And when Lisa Bonet became really rebellious, it was really hard for him
so weird
to get over that. Yeah, he created that show for her.
Really?
That was her vehicle, because he was like, she's so talented and she's not doing it. And I still think she's an amazing actress. Her role in High Fidelity is
so
amazing.
good.
That is
so
like
good. I didn't know she could sing before that
to
either.
meet
So
a
I was
woman
like,
oh god, she's just
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Lisa Bonet. Angel Heart. Remember that one? I don't get off track here. I'd always try to get the Dwayne Wayne sunglasses flip ups.
Oh, so
those
good.
are awesome.
I had to make those the other day.
Really?
Yeah, because I played Rooney in a drinking game in the show, a drinking game that I do,
Yeah.
and he's got the flip ups. I had to make some.
Oh.
Yeah, that was complicated, but they worked really well. Fucking like killed. So now we're talking about Ferris Bueller, which Bill Cosby has nothing to do with.
No.
Yeah, I wonder how different he would have been if he had a really successful movie career. I mean, you know, he made his money doing movies, I guess, but like,
He made his money doing TV. He
but
was
then
executive
TV was his
producer of
big
that.
thing,
So yeah.
I don't. Man, what like? Can you imagine though if he'd have gone on to do stand up like only a few other guys kept doing stand up? Woody Allen stopped. Most of them stopped. Richard Pryor eventually stopped. George Carlin, I guess, is the big example of the guy who did it till the day he died.
Yeah.
You know?
Some do, I think, because they have to.
Yeah.
Chris Rock keeps doing stand-up because he has to. He hasn't had the most successful TV show. He hasn't had
Right.
a movie career.
Oh,
I think
God,
that was
yeah.
the same thing with Carlin in a way. It
Yeah.
was he was in movies.
Sure.
He just they weren't like the biggest. I mean, Bill and Ted was awesome. But,
Well, sure.
but
he
I
never
think-
really had a starring role in anything
No,
either.
and he didn't have to. And that's why some of the people now, they look back and they look at like Seinfeld. He looks back now and he's like, okay, my show's over. I want to go back to the reason I wanted to do this show. And he started doing stand-up again, you know?
Yeah.
If a guy's going to hold me up, where is he? He's down a dark street. Why? Because he's nervous. He doesn't want any trouble. All he wants is my money. Here I come down a dark street. Why? Because I'm stupid. But I know the shout. And the guy will put a gun in my back and says, give me your dough. I just turn around quick. Rah! Say, here, take the gun. What's wrong with you? You should got the gun. So if you don't watch yourself, I'll shout again. And as a matter of fact, you give me your dough. So I held up 18 people like that.
His shows were almost like performance art, like Wazamo's Freakaholics. I don't know if you've ever seen any of
No.
those shows. They're stand-up shows that are 2 hours, hour and a half long. They ran on Broadway that are just stand-up, but they get serious.
Sure.
And now Cosby doesn't get as serious, but he really delves into his family stuff and the way he is. So it's more of like a play, a one-man show that involves comedy. I think he was crossing that over. He really opened the doors for a lot of people like Wazamo and people who do that now
Yeah.
who do the one-man full shows rather than just standing up there. And he sat down most of the time.
That's so funny.
Yeah, he just sat at Cosby and did his stand-up.
You can't not listen to him, though. He's like, he does just keep you listening the whole time because you're wondering what he's building to, wondering why he's telling you this story. You know, is it a punchline I'm going to be listening to, or at some point it ends up being like, does he make like a really good point? I mean, they're always funny. Like, especially like, the thing that always pops into my head is chocolate cake for breakfast. Like, that's the best thing on the planet. That is the best thing on the planet. But it clearly comes from somewhere totally real.
It does. I love that. The song, he's just so excited. Daddy's great. He gave me chocolate cake. That's just amazing. And that's whatever. But going back to the sitting down thing to me was that probably helps him out with bringing people in. Mm-hmm. You're inviting people in by, I'm not standing up here and lecturing at you. We're sitting down. We're having a conversation. We're talking right now. Yeah. I still remember getting kicked out. I'm so upset I got kicked out of that class too because we were making these awesome crosses out of popsicle sticks that we had to bring in.
That's awesome.
We had to burn the ends. I know.
I think that sounds awful.
Because I don't know, they wanted them to it made it look cool.
Oh, okay.
And until I was like 20-something years old, I always remembered going to my friend Brian's house, and he still had his on the wall from that day that I got kicked out. So he must have been like, "You're getting kicked out. I'm not saying anything." Even though he's laughing with me the whole time, he listened to it just as much as I did. It really made me question a lot though back then because
Sunday school made you burn crosses, Mike.
It did.
It's really scary. That's why they didn't want you talking about Bill Cosby. That's what it was. They were racists.
That's
a bunch of racists.
It's great when you're a kid and you're telling jokes like that, especially because the other kids don't know where it's coming from, so it's completely out of context. And have to this doesn't even make sense at all.
Sometimes that's the joy of it. At least for me, like when I discovered Monty Python, and it was just like, yes, this is my thing. Nobody else knows. That's fine.
And it's an inside joke between you and your friends, even though it's not really an inside joke because it's an album from 20 years before I was born.
Exactly. That's a weird thing. Like, and again, I don't know if it's an age-based thing or if it is particular to who we are, but like, you know, you need those things when you're growing up to latch onto, not just inside things like that, but comedy seems to really pull people together because laughing with another person is just so fucking freeing, and it really solidifies a relationship, or at least for a little while. I mean, Dan and I are best friends for 20 years because of comedy. Like, there's no doubt it's because of comedy.
Who was it? I think it was, I can't remember, Mark Bergman, I think, but somebody said, you can cry alone, but you need somebody else to help you laugh. So when you go to a movie theater and it's empty, it's rare to see one person laughing at a comedy.
Right.
They'll be, smile, they need people to help. But if it's a drama, you can cry.
Exactly. I mean, there's some movies I'll sit and watch, and hilarious movies, but I don't need to laugh.
Yeah.
Like Wayne's World, probably my favorite movie of all time. I don't really laugh out loud. But if I'm with other people, holy shit, man. Like, it's the funniest thing in the world. It's very true. Who said that?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
God damn it, Mike. You have the
Mr.
internet in front of you.
Shoot it to us and tell us who
please
who
do.
Please tell me who said that quote. And that was paraphrased, by the way. I didn't quote that exactly.
You bastard.
I know.
God damn it, Mike.
I know. I'm awful. I'm awful.
You really are. So is he doing at the time? I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming he got exposed through Ed Sullivan.
Yeah. His first appearances were on Ed Sullivan and Bob Hope Show. I think he was on the Bob Hope Show first. Yeah, he was on the Bob Hope Show first, and then he went on to Ed Sullivan. And and at that time that he was on Ed Sullivan, I think Woody Allen was writing jokes at the time because he wouldn't do stand-up for years. He refused to do stand-up, so Bill Cosby was only doing stand-up. He wasn't a writer. He was specifically a performer, he was a writer because he obviously wrote his own stuff.
Yeah.
They just took different paths.
I can't imagine him and Woody Allen getting along. I guess, though, that's the thing about comedy. Comedians get along even if they don't have the same sensibility exactly. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, you know, Woody Allen was just like, pure neuroses and talking. I mean, I guess he talked about his screwed up, being raised in a screwed up family, too. So maybe they had that to bond over.
Yeah. Coming back from what we talked about last week, where all art, in my opinion, and I believe Picasso, is political. Even comedy, even stand-up. I think that Bill Cosby was, especially with this record, he was trying to make his points subtly so that he could build them up over the course of, maybe he didn't even know what his points were. It's like,
Right.
these are funny things, but...
I mean, he's literally got a track here called "The Difference Between Men and Women," which is pretty basic, but like it's fine.
What is the difference? I don't know. Can you tell me? And he boils it up to women go to the bathroom together and men don't. That's the difference. I'm glad I know that now. Oh, that's great.
But if you listen to the first one, "A Nut in Every Car" was so fucking brilliant, and to me, it was just like it was a portrait of living in a city. Like it made me feel like being in Chicago again. Because that's exactly how
it's so great to listen to him. Sorry, he led the track off right. I mean, he led the album off right. This is the way he should. He started it out with a bang, brought it up with "Toss of the Coin." Tiny Little Hairs is fine, and then just the first side with Noah, all three Noahs, Noah.
Yeah, because he could have paced those out throughout the whole thing.
What's going on? How come you want me to do all these weird things? I'm going to destroy the world. Right. Am I on candid camera?
Oh my God, he joined the Navy after the 10th grade.
Holy what?
Yeah, he completed the high school while he was in a correspondence course while he was in the Navy.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Took an athletic scholarship to Temple after the Navy, supporting himself in his studies while tending bar.
What did he join the Navy for? There was no war at the time, was there?
That's the best
Korean?
time to join the Navy,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
Right?
What am I thinking?
There's not a war right now. This is the time to join up.
I actually had a friend who joined the Navy in August of 2001.
Really?
He's like, there's not going to be a war anytime soon. September 11th.
Oh.
Yep.
I
He's still
joined-
alive, though. That's
I
good.
joined the Navy last week.
Okay.
Yep, I'm a member of the cast of A Few Good Men, so I
Yes.
am a Navy attorney, too. I graduated law school.
Really? What
Yeah.
part are you playing?
Lieutenant Sam Weinberg.
Whose part is that in the movie?
Kevin Pollak.
Kevin Pollak. That's pretty good. He talked about that on the Nerdist quite a bit.
Yeah, it was a fun, it's a fun show, but I've never been a military man. My brother's military.
Is there any humor in that show whatsoever?
I'm the comic relief.
You are the comic relief.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I have no responsibilities here whatsoever. That's what he says multiple times. It's
Really?
funny.
That's good. Are you going to do your Bill Shatner right in the middle of it for no reason? Just to
I was
bring a
thinking
little
about
Pollak
doing
out?
the character sketches as Woody Allen. I was
I think you should.
just imitating.
I think you should. Yeah, I think the whole...
So in other words, I have no responsibilities here whatsoever.
You should do a walk-in, though, too. If you're going to do Pollock, there has to be a walk-in in there at some
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of walk-in talks.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a lot of scenes. He's like tribute to Aaron Sorkin. We're trying to like have the scene go from one side of the stage to the other. We stop, we talk real quick, and then we separate. We're talking across the stage, and then go to the other side.
Really?
Things like that.
Holy shit.
Tribute to Aaron Sorkin.
That is,
we're
that
trying
is
to do
complex. You need to get him out to come and see it then. 'Cause
Yeah.
That is...
Does he live in Los Angeles?
I don't
know.
And it's the best place to buy Coke. I'm sorry, Aaron Sorkin. Did I say that out loud? Was he like heroin? I don't remember what he
I don't
liked.
know.
He's on something. Studio 60, that's the reason it didn't last. Drugs. Yeah, that's why.
Wow, can you believe that The Simpsons and The Cosby Show were on the air at the same time?
Really?
In 1992 is when his show ended.
I didn't realize it was that late that it
That was
ended.
the last year and first year.
When did it start? The Cosby Show.
I don't. Let's see. When did the Cosby Show start? I can't even find it. Right
This is exciting audio. Look up things
From
on the internet. and ask
85 to
questions.
87, the record it broke records. 84 was Fat Albert. So I think about 85, 87 it might have been.
Fat Albert was 84.
Yeah.
Man, I always think of it as the 70s, just because of the.
No, sorry.
It's so funny.
It stopped production in 84.
Ah, that makes
You
more
are
sense.
correct.
That makes more sense. That was after Dumb Donald had his drug problem.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah. So it was originally rejected by ABC and then accepted by NBC. So.
Which was the show?
Cosby Show,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really? Man. Yeah, I just remember just being able to sit down and look forward to watching that show every week.
Dude.
Loving the theme song.
Do you remember that Thursday night lineup?
No, not at the time.
Night Court,
Oh,
Hill Street Blues,
oh man.
and Family Ties.
Holy shit.
We're all over the Cosby
I miss
Show.
Family Ties so much.
That is an amazing. Wow. Yeah.
It's a two very different shows, I think. Obviously very family-oriented, but two incredibly different shows that attracted me just as much. Because there's a good family bond in both shows.
Yeah.
Just very different, because one was a bunch of hippies and the other ones were just like two people just trying to make their way by being professionals. And
he hit 70 million viewers in 1987 for a couple episodes.
holy crap.
Can you imagine any show?
No show gets that
right
anymore.
now. 70 million viewers.
Not that we have DVRs and cable sucked up so much of the other viewership and divided it. Holy cow.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely
How does that even happen?
Especially, there's so much reality programming, too, that just kills it, that you can't get good programming like that.
It does surprise. I mean, they do say that it's really hard to get into movies if you're in TV, but it does surprise me that at the top of his game, he couldn't get a big movie franchise, or he couldn't write his own big movie. Maybe he didn't want to. I don't know. Maybe he took those things just like a lark, but it does surprise me that he didn't have a bigger career. Same with, I'm not it wasn't surprised with Richard Pryor, because the drugs were a big thing.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby, I don't think, has a past like that, or at least he's never talked about it.
No. They talk a lot about Leonard Part 6,
Uh-huh.
and there are a lot of major organizations who consider that one of the top 10 worst American films ever made.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And that really could have stemmed the fear of studios wanting him in films.
Yeah.
It really could have been like, okay, Ghost Dad, Kid, we'll let him do that. But it surprised me that he didn't go more of the route of what Eddie Murphy's doing now.
Right.
Why didn't he just pump out film after
family-friendly
film?
movies?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, maybe he didn't want to, sort of water down his trademark.
Yeah.
Maybe it was enough for him to be associated with that show.
Yeah.
Same with, Jerry Seinfeld doesn't really do many projects. He's only done a couple. I think he could.
Yeah.
He's got enough money he could fund his own films.
And I think a lot of it has to do with his son dying in 1997 when his son got murdered. I think that he was just...
That did change him. That made him political instantly.
Yeah.
Because he was anti-gun.
Yeah.
Like, very, very loudly anti-gun. Understandably.
Oh, yeah.
That actually weirded me out the first time because I didn't listen to Eddie Murphy's Raw until years later, and listen to him talk about Bill Cosby talking about Ennis wanting to go to his show, and like in my head Ennis was just a murder victim because I didn't know who he was. You know what I mean? Like before that, I just remember hearing about him being gunned down. I was like, holy shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was kind of a weird, surreal moment. Listening to Eddie Murphy bitch about Bill Cosby. So I do wonder if that story's true. I have always wondered how true that story is that he calls up Eddie Murphy.
But it's interesting, like, how people who, the guy from Boondocks, Eddie Murphy, these people who you couldn't help but be influenced by Bill Cosby. It's maybe you hate the ones you love,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they wanted them to go in a different direction or wanted them to... Because if he came out and said, I just love your work, I love your work, there's no way that they'd be out there bashing him.
Right. Oh, well, at the beginning of the Eddie Murphy bit, too, he talks about, sure, I love Bill Cosby, I love The Cosby Show, oh, I love your show, I can't wait to talk to you, and then Bill Cosby just lays into him, and by the end of it, he's kind of pissed at him. And then he does his Richard Pryor bit, too, where he says, tell Bill to have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up. Like, that's tell him I said suck my dick. That is what... That's what he said. He called up Richard Pryor afterwards, and that's what he said. I just want to know how true that is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite bits Eddie Murphy did. Because that's one of the few that didn't contain the word faggot. It was a good bit. Oh, man. And then we were talking about earlier, because of I Spy, he became the first black guy to star on a drama show on national TV. I don't know who the first comedy guy to star on a show was. Nat King Cole is the first black guy to have his own show. Yeah. If I remember correctly. That was in the 50s, I think. Yeah. And then, it's just weird to me that he would be a groundbreaker in drama. Because I've never really seen I Spy, and I obviously didn't see the remake. Wait, didn't the remake star Eddie Murphy?
I don't remember. Oh, yes, the movie. Yeah. With Owen Wilson.
Yeah. Eddie Murphy and Owen. That's a weird combo.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's weird. Owen Wilson is everybody's sidekick.
It's actually not that bad of a movie, and it was a horrible box office bomb. It made no money.
How does that happen? Yeah, Owen Wilson is everybody's sidekick. Yeah. Like, it's the Shanghai Nights movies, Starsky and Hutch movie, that... Yeah, I don't think he's actually ever starred in a film. We just think he has. Owen Wilson's never starred in a movie. Even Marley and Me, he was the dog's sidekick.
The dog was I think you've...
Yeah.
I think you've got onto something here.
Man.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to talk to Wes Anderson tomorrow. I'm going to give him a call.
Oh, God, he was amazing, and nothing. I sent a message out to my Twitter friends to send us questions on this podcast, and it seems that no one has.
All right.
So, wonderful.
All right, that's good. Well, how about we do that ahead of time next time? And then
I did it this morning.
Oh, you did it this morning?
Yeah.
What a bunch of fuckers.
I know.
I'm sorry. If you guys are listening, when I say fuckers, we're from upstate New York. That is a term of endearment.
It is.
Like in Australia where they call you a bastard. That's a term of endearment. Scotland, they call you a cunt. That's a term of endearment.
Mm-hmm.
Fuckers in upstate New York, I think, as we all know, is
It's a wonderful term.
it really is. Wow. So, all right, you know what? We
I think we've exhausted my knowledge and
mine.
my nostalgia.
Yeah. So you have no nostalgia left? That's really sad.
No, I have no nostalgia left. I mean, this just took me back to my attic again.
Yeah.
And that just took me back to some crazy stuff I did in my attic with some girls in high school. So
That's awesome.
this was a great experience.
This could be a
for
new
me.
podcast. Let's
It
talk
was.
about Mike gets some.
Mike gets some. It was a great experience, and maybe that's for another podcast. But thank you. for
Second
that.
base with Mike Worden. That'll be the
Second base. Pfft.
All right.
Try
First base
first,
with Mike Worden.
yeah.
All right. That's
I was awesome at first.
home base with Mike Worden. They leave and you have the attic all to yourself. You and Bill Cosby.
Me and Bill Cosby.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Episode 5. Mike Worden and me and Comedy on Vinyl. And that's it.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Sunday night, I can get the martyrs this. Once I do
Comedy on Vinyl is recorded at Fort Awesome Studios in Burbank, California. Follow us on Twitter at Comedy on Vinyl, and follow us on Facebook, or like us at goo.gl/V/S as in zinc.
cucumber, 1990.